Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks so much for coming back to my channel. My name is Christina Marie, and today, since I'm at Utopiacon, been here for a few days, I've been doing author interviews. I have Meg Farrell, and she agreed to come in front of my lovely camera and just share a little bit about her experience at Utopiacon, as well as a little bit about her book. You guys know I love bringing you new reads, so this will be really, really exciting for me and hopefully for you too. So thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.
I'm so excited. So we can just dive right in. This is my second year at Utopiacon. Last year was very overwhelming for me, just simply because I was coming here as just this little tiny blogger, just wanting to be around, people who just had my dream of just writing and, wove all these stories together and things like that. And that was kind of the start of what made it so contagious for me to come back. How many times have you been to Utopia?
This is my third Utopia.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
I came first in 2014 simply to meet Sylvia Day and Amy Bartle.
Oh my, Sylvia Day was at the first, oh.
The first one I came to in 2014.
Oh, that's exciting. How was that? Did you get to meet her?
She's amazing, yes, I did.
Yeah, I've heard good things about her. That's awesome. So what is it that keeps you coming back year after year?
Well, my first year I had written a book for NaNoWriMo in 2013. And then I did like most authors do when they first write, is I just let it sit. And I convinced myself nobody wanted to read it. And like I said, we came to Utopia with one single purpose, to meet Sylvia Day. And what I got was so much more than that. Just really encouragement and the can-do attitude and about the hustle of being an indie and knowing you can do it. And so I went home and a month later published that book.
That's so cool. I started a NaNoWriMo project and I'm still not done with it. Let's not talk about it. So of your time here at Utopiacon this year thus far, do you have a highlight that you loved?
Yeah, I mean, this is the first year that I had a table as an exhibitor and sold books, and literally sold 14 books, which is not, crazy numbers, but I only have 2 out. So, and what I found was that the people who came to buy books bought both.
That's awesome.
As a match set,
right,
so that they could get the full story. While they're standalone books, they do kind of tie in together, their same world. So it was a highlight to just meet people and feel like somebody because I had that table. So yeah, cool. I mean, I feel like I came as an attendee, and then I came as an author learning about the craft the second year, and then this year I'm there.
See, and that's hilarious to me because I was talking to, I forgot who I was talking to yesterday. We were talking about how you come to Utopia as one thing, and then you walk away being empowered and knowing that you can become all these other things, and you just watch your progression throughout the years that you attend.
Yes.
That's amazing. So congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
so
Thank
cool.
you.
So you just mentioned your book. So you have your book in your hand called Finding, is it Elena or Alana?
Alana is how I pronounce it.
Awesome.
Yep.
Cool. And so it's my favorite color. It's purple, guys.
Purple.
There it is right there. Yep. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
I can. So Alana is not really her name. She is somebody who has survived domestic abuse. And this story picks up 5 years after she rebuilt her life. And so she's scared to love again. She's scared to be involved. As a contemporary romance, I wanted to explore what that life would be like. And it's loosely based on a true story. So there's some elements of something that happened to a family member. And it was not a story that I was aware of. And in the last couple of years it came up. And when I heard it, I just said, what would that be like? I don't even know what that would be like to start over, and then how do you trust again, and how do you find the ability to love? And there's a little suspense in it. So it's pretty, what I've been told is it's a roller coaster of emotion, that you will laugh and you will cry and you'll be angry and you'll be terrified for her, but it all works out in the end.
Awesome. I really like those kinds of stories simply because when I read, I like to feel more than one thing. I've read a lot of books where I'm just laughing the whole time, or I'm just happy the whole time. And while those are great, I really, I feel a special connection to those that just take me through the gambit of emotion. Do you find that you went through a lot of that personally as you were writing it, like a lot of emotion?
I did. It took me a long time to write it, and it went through several iterations because at one point I felt like it was too dark. And then at one point I felt like I wasn't empowering her enough. And she kept telling me, I'm stronger than this. You know, it sounds crazy, but authors, your characters really do talk to you. And so she was telling me how strong she was as I was writing it. So it went through several changes until I could express what she is.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And whenever, you know, I hear about, because there are so many books, so many, and you always ask, how do you choose what to read next? How do you choose?
Yeah.
I find these moments when you actually learn about the writer's process and what they went through as they were writing certain scenes or certain moments in the book, like those make you as a reader appreciate, you know, the book a lot better. Because when I'm reading things, I'm like, I remember when Meg said that she was experiencing this when she read this, and oh my gosh, it clicks. So I love knowing, you know, the backstory to that. So to anyone who hasn't read this book yet, who would you say it's for? What type of reader would you say this is for?
I think it's for a woman who wants to trust and who wants to love, or may know somebody who's gone through some domestic violence, or who just wants to find hope out of the darkness, which my beta readers and my reviewers have all said that's what this book gave them. So.
That's really awesome. I love that. I love it. Yay. So, fun questions, simply because I always tend to say I'm a nosy person. I just like to know a little bit more about people.
Sure.
What would people be surprised to know about you? What's one thing?
So the Memphis community, maybe not so much, but I used to skate roller derby.
Oh my gosh. I love it. My friend Ashley that I work with, she's just starting.
Okay.
So whenever I find that, I'm like, I call her Derby Girl now.
Yes.
That is so cool. So what made you start? Why aren't you doing it now?
Okay, so my mother passed in 2009, and that was in June. And so in September of 2009, there was a call on Twitter to join up with roller derby. And my husband goes, you know, you like to skate. You should go do this. And I laughed at him. I said, you just want the accidental death clause on my life insurance. I mean, these ladies will kill me.
Right.
So I grabbed a friend of mine, and we convinced each other to go, and we watched. And I was like, oh my God, I can totally do this. This is amazing. And they'll teach me from the ground up. I had a really amazing trainer at the time, Blown Fuse. But it was quite different than skating at the skating rink.
Right,
So when I stood up on those skates the first time, I was like Bambi on ice. And I had to learn all over again what it was to skate.
Right.
And I thought while I was doing it, and it made me feel like my mother's proud of me.
Right.
She always was she was a feminist, and she was a strong woman, and a force to be reckoned with. And here I was on skates, and I was going to be a force.
That's awesome.
So I did it in dealing with her death.
Right.
So I worked hard for 3 years. There's some rigid skills testing that you have to pass. And there was a couple of skills I just never mastered. You know, so I never made a team, but I skated for 3 years and made some of the best friends of my life.
That's awesome.
And then I quit when my daughter started pitching for softball. So when that required a whole level of time that I just couldn't split between the two.
Right.
So, but I still stay in contact, and I still love roller derby and watching it and
so cool.
celebrating the women that do it.
I love that. I love it. Oh,
Yes.
fun. So we're in Nashville, of course, and you said you've been here
I have,
before.
yes.
So what's a good spot that you like to come to whenever you're here?
Okay, so I'm going to stay on a theme here.
Okay.
Go watch Nashville Roller Girls. I mean, seriously, they are amazing, and they also have a really great junior league.
Really? Okay.
So younger girls that are developing in the sport and as athletes. So I would say definitely go there.
That is so cool. I get a different answer, you know, for every single person. I haven't had an overlap yet. And that's what I love about this. There's just so much diversity here. One of the people that I interviewed told me that her fact is that she doesn't use curse words at all, but her books would suggest otherwise, you know? And so it's just all these fun things. I'm like, I love learning things about people because it just makes it that much more interesting when you're reading, you know, their work. So yeah, I love it. Thank you for that. Yay. So thanks for being here. And that is it for our interview. Of course, I will leave all of your social media and your book by links and all of that in our description box down below. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Thank Meg for joining, and I will see you in my several other interviews that are coming later. So, bye.